Welcome to the USA, where everyone needs a gimmick. Personally, I don't think 2016 was all that bad. Yeah, a few people died, but that's a part of life. Some politics happened. And to top it off, my pal Blue Shade started taking off. You might be asking, how is this a bad thing? It's not. I just like talking about it. But 2016 was considered bad, and so were a lot of movies. With that being said, here's Gimmick's top 5 worst movies of 2016. Adaption sure didn't make it a nice year. Real quick, honorable mentions so I can show that I don't just watch adaptions. These movies were just the worst, but not as bad as the following. The Boss was bad, Bad Moms is bad, and 9 Lives really... What was that? Number 5. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Out of the Shadows. Wow, that's a mouthful. I will say it. It is better than the first one, but that's not saying much, or anything. All they did was minimize Megan Fox's role in the movie, which, I mean, good on ya, but she shouldn't have been there in the first place. The Turtles were definitely more prevalent, but mix that with the ill-casted Stephen Amell as Casey Jones, which was clearly to capitalize on his role as Green Arrow. Mr. Amell is a good actor, but it seemed like his only direction was to yell and act like a baby. Top the movie off with a terrible Shredder and a decent Krang. It was made to be laughable. Number 4. XMen Apocalypse. What should have been an ace in the hole coming off the back of First Class and Days of Future Past, all road signs pointed toward the perfect end for the trilogy, but somehow this movie looked at the map and decided that incoherent Trash Island was the best place to end. They had to force Hugh Jackman in, they had to force in characters that shouldn't have mattered. If there was a movie that should be an expert at handling a lot of characters, it should be an X-Men movie. But they didn't know how. It was just a mess, clear as day. Number 3. Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. My mother loves Pride and Prejudice. She watches it all the time. I love the book Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, and the author wrote Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. I read the book. It wasn't for me, but I thought my mom would absolutely love it. I was wrong. I watched it alone because of some circumstances, but thank God I didn't force her into this situation. It was even more of a jumbled ball of plot string than X-Men. It looked like a porn parody, and it just didn't make any sense. It didn't develop anyone, and it didn't even explain any of the plot from either of the books. An hour into the film, I'm still wondering what the point of what they were doing was. Jesus, it's bad, and then at the very end it has a cliffhanger to a point in the book that didn't need a cliffhanger. I'm surprised this wasn't the worst movie of the year. But there's a reason for that. Number 2. Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Now, DC fanboys will call me a hater, but I'm not a DC fanboy, I'm not a Marvel fanboy, I'm a comic fanboy. And when I saw what they did to Batman and Superman, scratch that. It wasn't even just a bad comic movie, it was just a bad movie. It was one of the worst movies. What can I say that hasn't already been said? I wanted this movie to succeed so badly. The first time seeing these two iconic heroes together should have been the best thing in the 21st century, but it wasn't. It wasn't Superman or Batman. They both killed, for Christ's sake. Superman, who's supposed to be a lawful good character, is now chaotic good. Maybe even neutral. You don't know what I mean with this alignment. But still, the marketed fight was an hour and a half into the movie, which would have been good if it was built up right, but then it lasted not even 8 minutes. And the pattern of most of these bad movies is that they have too many characters stretching the movie to its limit. Batman, Superman, Lois Lane, Alfred, Wonder Woman, Lex Luthor, Doomsday, and a few cameos that were more of a distraction than anything. Flash, Aquaman, and Cyborg. Why so many characters? It's not a Justice League movie, it's a Batman and Superman movie. I'm okay with Wonder Woman, but everyone else just leave. Don't even need a villain. Batman v Superman was too long, too jumbled, and too bad. Number 1. Suicide Squad. God, I hate this movie. Not for the obvious reasons like you think. I enjoy the new take on Joker. I did. It's everything else I had a problem with. The way Margot Robbie played Harley was not Harley. She wasn't directed right. A movie about the entire squad had only developed Deadshot and Harley in the first place, with minimal motivation for any of the characters, and that's with the bombs in their head. Most of the time it didn't make sense, the characters' plot and stunts had nothing going for the movie, and we were left with more questions than answers. It was a movie designed to be a trailer. There are spots in the movie that they clearly only shot for the trailer, and you can clearly tell. The soundtrack was a jumbled mess, and the dialogue was the worst thing about it. I wanted this to be good, to help DC with their track record, but now I have to get on my hands and knees and pray that they don't fuck up Wonder Woman. Like I said, it was not a good year for movie adaptations, and the thing about that is I've seen so many other bad movies, and it seems like all these movies tried their hardest to get on the worst list. But here's hoping for the next year. And my New Year's resolution? Watch more movies. Clear your schedules, gentlemen.